houses who are in default, they convert them into housing co-op and let people buy ownership in the house over a period of time. They can live in the house, and at the same time they can buy ownership of the house over a period of time, and both sides will be winner rather than just foreclosing by the banks.
And moving forward, how would we further, and the non-Muslims now are accepting this, but how, in terms of, and for those who have not yet accepting this model, how are you going to change the perception? How are they going to accept this model?
Well, actually, there is a lot is being said about Islamic finance in the last year and a half since this crisis started. I'm coming from Malta. They had a conference there on Islamic finance, and I made a presentation there as well. And to my surprise, government of Malta is supporting this idea that they want to make Malta a hub for Islamic finance, a bridge between Europe and Middle East. I met the finance minister. He was saying that they are willing to amend any laws that needed. There were bankers there. There were Institute of Management and Employees Union representative, insurance company executive, and they are all supporting this, that Malta should have Islamic banking and finance in that country. So it shows that non-Muslims are also looking at Islamic banking and finance because of the ethical aspect of it. Obviously, not necessarily for interest, but because it is moral, it is ethical, it is just, they are interested in it.
So it seems like the Islamic financial system is gaining recognition and is gaining popularity globally, not just in the Muslim-dominant countries. And Mr. Shakespeare, so moving forward, and there's a lot of effort to create a new framework for the banking and the financial system. So how do you see, what is your suggestion? Would the suggestion by Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad,
Yes, I do think that Tun Mahathir did give a lead about a week ago, which is indicating that there has to be a limit to money creation, and therefore probably the best thing to do is to have link the money, say, to gold and that. But then he also went on and said that the money must go to the real economy. But of course the conventional system does not do that. It puts it out into the casino economy, which are derivatives or endless expansions in house prices, where the prices in the house rises so high that it gets right out of relation with average earnings. And when that happens, the bubble is built up and it's a collapse, and you get all the social disaster. So that there is a way forward, but it effectively means an upfront challenge to the attitude and beliefs of the existing system, particularly in the USA.
And how to change them?
Well, I think events are probably going to change them. I think there's a great big smash-up coming, and there's going to be rage. The United States is a little different from Europe. In Europe, there's traditions of organised labour and of protest. And at the moment, the American middle classes are almost supine, laying on the ground, and they're taking it, presumably because they believe that things will eventually all get better again. I'm afraid they're wrong, and they're going. And the problem is, unless they come up with some new thinking, they're going to be smashed.
So, who's going to head start? Who's going to start this change of framework? Who's going to work for this?
Well, we've just been at a conference.
Can you share a bit on the findings of the conference, Mr.
Yes,
Shakespeare?
the findings of the conference is that there is a need for an upfront, almost right across the board, rethinking, that it has to hit right on the banking system. It's profoundly Islamic in that it rejects riba or interest and realizes that this is a possibility in the situation. It concentrates on the real economy and justice, and it specifically defines justice as the spreading of the real economy, and that includes housing, to right the way throughout the members of the society. And it's not arrogant, it is a balanced real economy involving everybody. And events will probably force that, but there may have to be a collapse before then, because at the moment the existing mindset prevails.
And Mr. Nassim, how do you find the event or the Riba convention?
Well, this is the first of its kind, where the purpose is to create awareness of what Riba is doing in the various economies and causing so much problem and creating poverty for average person. Take any country, people are poor are getting poorer and richer are getting richer. So there is so much injustice around.
Okay.
So they want the purpose there that first we should educate ourselves. We should realize, unless you realize that there is a problem, you cannot find solution.
And the most important part is we have know the solution, and that been tabled in Kuala Lumpur. And now how are we going to implement this globally?
Well, sorry.
Well, you have to put up what essentially, in the first place, is a political will. Riba actually means that 80% of the population in any society are losing, 10% are in balance, and 10% are massively gaining. And once you understand that it is a tax, which wrecks the market mechanisms, wrecks your buying power, you understand that, and that it is not necessary, then mentally all the mechanisms start opening up. So this wonderful conference is actually a sort of opening up the minds to possibilities, and when the crunch comes, then people will look for the new solutions.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Shakespeare. Thank you very much, Mr. Nassim. That's all the time we have. So thank you, terima kasih.
Thank you, sir.
And then perbincangan tadi mengakhiri Bisnes Awani untuk jam ini.